Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about Inmode, and they actually released their preliminary earnings report, and I didn't know this was going to happen. It wasn't scheduled to happen, and sometimes when this is happening, it's pretty much a chance when companies, and Inmode's done it, did it last quarter as well. What they do is they're either warning, hey, it's going to be a bad quarter, or hey, it's going to be really good. And it normally goes either way. I think like we saw Fastly, I think 6 months ago now, they did it where they warned that their revenues were not going to look great because of some problems with TikTok, and then obviously the stock went down. And sometimes it works in the favour of, hey, look, we're doing really good. And Inmode did this last quarter, and it's doing it this quarter again. And the earnings they released were absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we don't get the full earnings till later on, but from what the numbers they did give out, they look really strong. And it's a bit of a 10 out of 10 earnings. I can't just give it 10 out of 10 just yet because I have to get a little bit of a breakdown of some details in the earnings report, but hey, the earnings look really, really good. And sometimes I don't really like to do too many videos talking about these sort of stocks or a stock like Inmode because Inmode's not really known. Like, I generally don't know another YouTuber that talks about Inmode. Even I didn't really hear of this company until Ben, who made the logo, who makes some of the better thumbnails compared to when I make the rubbish ones. He was the one that pointed it in my direction, and I never heard of this company until he said, you know, hey, look at this company, check it out, it looks really good. And I looked into it and I was like, wow, this company is actually really fantastic. And yeah, they came out with some early earnings, look really good. We'll break down the numbers, but Inmode actually has come now my biggest position in the stock market. It was second to Facebook, but because of Facebook having a bit of a rough kind of couple of weeks recently, which might be worth a video touching on actually. But that's led to Inmode now jumping over Facebook. So I guess my biggest position is Inmode, and it reported earnings, and I'm really happy about what came out. I think I'm up about 65% on the position, but I actually still think like Inmode has the potential to be like a $100 stock in the next maybe 12 months, which is a scary thought. And I always get asked this quite often, like, so is it still a buy? And I'm like, yeah, like I think the Forward P, it's had another really good day today of recording this video, and I think the Forward P last time I checked was 22, but it might have jumped up a little bit now. So on this video I'll probably show you what exactly it is, but like it's still not a bad Forward P when you consider it's a company that's going to be growing at 30% profit, 30% revenue. It has an amazing balance sheet as well. And this company was really hit by COVID, and it's still pulling out fantastic numbers. So people come and ask me like, what do you think of Inmode then? And I'm like, yeah, it's still a buy. Like, this company is still pretty dirt cheap, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's got a very bright future, especially what it's been able to do in COVID as well, you know. And yeah, I mean, I started to mention that I was buying this one earlier last year. And if you do want to know when I'm buying and selling companies, there's a link to my patrons group. I'll post when I buy and sell companies on there, just like Inmode. And if you do want to start buying Inmode, there's a link to a free trade account and trading 212 account. You buy through them links, you also get a free share. And yeah, if you want to get buying Inmode, then that's the way to do it. But you know, always make sure you do your own research. You know, always look into your companies before you do buy. Never just take my opinion on it. But you know, if you were asking for my opinion, that's what I would say to you right now. And what we'll do is we'll kind of dig through these earnings because they were pretty fantastic. So yeah, yesterday, a fantastic day for Inmode. The stock jumped quite a bit. I think even today, as recording this video, it's up like 3%. But yeah, yesterday it had a bit of a jump. Maybe deserved probably a bit of a bigger jump. Last time it actually brought out earnings like this. The preliminary earnings sent it up quite a bit, and then when they brought out the actual earnings, it did go down. So that's something to be careful of. And just on another separate note as well, I'm doing a lot of separate notes today. I read a lot of the comments from yesterday's video, which there were some great comments in there. Mostly, everyone kind of got my point in the video, which is great. So I enjoyed reading some of your comments as well. So I'm going to try and get back to some of your comments very soon, actually, after recording this video. So Inmode sees Q4 20 and financial year 20 revenue above consensus. So the preliminary Q4 and F20 results. Revenue expected in the range of 74.5 million to 75 million versus consensus of 63 million. So I mean, damn, you know, like that's nearly a 10 million beat on revenue, which is crazy. I think that's just bonkers. Like that's an absolute massive beat. And then consensus of a 205 million to 206 million. And prior guided 192 million to 195 million versus 194 million consensus. Non-GAAP EPS expected in the range of 91 cents to 93 cents versus the consensus of 62 cents, and $2.08 versus $2.10 versus $1.79 consensus. So I mean, the revenue is just absolutely huge, a massive beat. The EPS even is a huge beat. And the other thing as well, what that'll mean for like the EPS is that that will actually, you know, obviously the P will drop quicker. So even though like the forward P is like a 20 whatever it is right now, when I updated it for you guys, like that's going to drop even quicker now. They're even beating it faster than that. And I think like the scary thing is that they'll do even better than that, which is fantastic. So yeah, I think that everything from that point of view is really good. The company expects non-GAAP gross margins in the range of 84% to 86%, and the financial year 21 outlook, revenue expected to be in the range of 250 million to 260 million. Which is great, you know, because when we look at what they're, you know, doing previously, 192 million, and the consensus here, you know, roughly around 205 million. So I think that when you look at that, if they did 205 million in this financial year, that's only operating at like a 20% probably revenue increase. Now I think Inmode are actually going to probably do more than 20%. I think the revenue is going to be more, you know, 30, 35%, if we're looking maybe 40%. So I think that really they've really sandbagged the numbers. So I think that Inmode will have really easy targets to beat next year, because even though they've guided 150 million, I think that they're actually going to be, you know, doing a lot more than that. I think they could be going more towards 270, 280 million. So I think even on, you know, the outlook point of view, I think that's really sandbag. I easily see that. I expect them to probably do a minimum of 270 million. But like I say, I think maybe 280 million is more realistic than what they're offering here. So you can see the revenue is an absolute beat this year. The profit, the EPS is even a bigger beat. I think even the outlook sandbag, so that gives them even easier room to beat the numbers next year. And the great thing as well is that what I'll put you to, what I said earlier in the year when I was talking about Inmode, is that when I was listening to the conference call when I started buying this company, and I think it was March and April time, or it was either April or May time, there was 2 months in a period, and they said like literally we were shut for them 2 months, and all of the revenue from this quarter came from like June it was. And I was like, hold on, so you're telling me that they managed to beat revenue expectations from 1 month operating instead of a whole 3? And that was like me mind blown. I was like, that's insane if they're able to do that. And that's why I was like, right, if that company's seriously doing that, they're easily going to smash analyst expectations. And this is what's happening. They're beating it absolutely huge. Now, let's fast forward to 3-4 months down the line. If we put ourselves in a position where Inmode is actually operating 12 months of the year compared to last year where it was only 10 months, then you're getting 12 months full revenue. So even when you look at that point of view, is if they actually do really well in them 2 months where they didn't operate next year, we could actually see revenue actually going towards the point of like 300 plus from that point of view, which would be absolutely insane. So I think that right now it's in a very good position. I think that when you look at the growth of the company, the health of it, where they're expanding to, really good earnings. And like I say, I think this is one of those that I do expect it to be $100 stock one day. Maybe in the next 12, 24 months, I think it will move very soon. It's been on a very strong run, a great chart as well. So yeah, everything's really good. Like I say, I don't think this video will do an amazing views because not many people are bothered about Inmode, but when it's your biggest company, I feel like you've got to talk about it. And I know there's a couple of guys out there that do have invested in Inmode anyway, because I saw a few comments on the video yesterday talking about the bump in share price. So hope it was useful anyway. A bit of a short one today, but I hope you still enjoyed it. And if you could, smash the like button if you are new, subscribe, let me know if you're invested in Inmode, and I'll see you in the next video.